Newton and the forger, the most unexpected rivalry in history. When you hear the name Isaac Newton, you probably think of apples, gravity, or one of the smartest humans who ever lived. But here's something they don't usually tell you in school. Isaac Newton once hunted a criminal, a master counterfeiter, and he didn't just defeat him, he destroyed him. This is the true story of Newton and the forger. It's the late 1600s in England, and the country has a serious problem. Money is literally falling apart. Coins are made of silver and people are shaving tiny slivers off the edges, a crime called clipping. Over time, coins become lighter, less valuable, and the entire economy starts to wobble. Counterfeit coins flood the streets. Trust in money collapses, and England is close to financial chaos. The government needs help. So in 1696, they make a surprising choice. They put Isaac Newton in charge of the Royal Mint. Not as a scientist, not as a philosopher, but as a lawman. At first, people assume Newton will be a figurehead. They're wrong. Newton takes the job personally. He moves into the Tower of London, where the mint is located, and begins investigating counterfeiters himself. He interviews witnesses, tracks criminals, goes undercover in taverns. And here's the key thing to understand about Newton. He was brilliant, but also obsessive, secretive, and absolutely unforgiving. Once Newton decided someone was guilty, he would not let go. Which brings us to William Chaloner. William Chaloner was no ordinary criminal. He was clever, charming, and dangerously ambitious. Born poor, Chaloner taught himself chemistry and metalworking, perfect skills for counterfeiting coins. But instead of hiding, he did something bold. He went public. Chaloner started writing pamphlets accusing the Royal Mint of incompetence. He even testified before Parliament, claiming he could fix England's money problem, all while secretly being one of the most prolific counterfeiters in the country. For a while it worked. Chaloner played the system, bribed officials, and avoided conviction again and again. But he made one fatal mistake. He didn't realize who he was up against. Newton saw through Chaloner immediately. And once Newton focused on him, it became a chess match, and Newton was willing to wait years to win. Newton gathered evidence quietly. He tracked Chaloner's associates. He interrogated witnesses relentlessly, sometimes for days. Unlike modern detectives, Newton didn't care about comfort or fairness. He pressured people until they broke. Bit by bit, the case came together. Chaloner tried to fight back, accusing Newton publicly, mocking him, even trying to turn the government against him. But Newton had already won. In 1699, Chaloner was arrested and charged with high treason. Counterfeiting wasn't just a crime. It was considered an attack on the state itself. At the trial, Chaloner tried every trick he knew. He lied, he blamed others, he begged. It didn't matter. Newton had built an airtight case. William Chaloner was found guilty, and in March 1699, he was hanged at Tyburn. If you were someone like Dick Turpin, you would be allowed to stop at every tavern along the way to Tyburn before you were hung. But Chaloner was afforded that mercy. He would have been stone-cold sober on the gallows. Newton never attended the execution. He didn't need to. Isaac Newton is remembered as a man of equations, laws, and cosmic insight. But this story reveals something else. He wasn't just a thinker. He was a hunter. And when he believed order was threatened, he would enforce it without mercy. So the next time you hear about Newton and the apple, remember the forger he chased down. And remember that one of the greatest minds in history once used his genius not to understand the universe, but to destroy a criminal who thought he was smarter than him.